and hataw performances of your favorite stars. Saturdays, 12 noon, dito lang sa DZRH TV.
Sara Duterte Impeachment Trial at DZRH Special.
Maraming salamat din, Attorney Jose Jad Roy III. Dapat tayong nalaman sa kanya. Oras, Attorney.
Oras po natin. 4 na minuto na lang bago sumapit ang 2:00 lakay.
Alamin nga natin ang latest mula sa Senado.
Eto sa Senado, tawagan natin si RH28 Raymond Dadbaas. Ano na nga ba ang sitwasyon sa loob ng Senado? RH28 Raymond, ibalita mo nga, Raymond.
Attorney Sharon at Mayor, ngayon ay ready na para sa day 4 ng impeachment trial dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ilan sa mga kaganapang dito sa pagdating kanina ni Attorney Zuleika Lopez, yung Chief of Staff ni Vice President Sara. Ito ay kahit na hindi pa siya dapat isalang sa araw na ito, ang unang isasalang ay si Attorney o Director Jeremy Lopez ng National Bureau of Investigation. Ang ngunit doon sa subpoena na ipinadala kasi sa kanya ng impeachment court o nakaraang linggo ay dapat ngayong Lunes at araw ng Martes narito siya sa Senado. At maliban dyan, kanina-kinan ngayong din lang ay magsusumiti na itong prosecution at defense ng kanilang memorandum, kanya-kanyang memorandum doon sa kahilingan na dapat ay i-open yung mga bank at BIR records na mag-asawang Vice President Sara at asawa ng itong si Attorney Mans Carpio. Pero ito ay bago pa man gawin yung oral argument sa araw ng Miyerkules. Ang pagkakabanggit sa atin ngayong araw ay posibleng it would be a long day. Sabi ni Atty. Renato Bato Jr. ang impeachment court clerk of court dahil baka pagkatapos ni Director Lopez ng NBI ay baka may posibilidad na maisalang si Attorney Delvin Matibag, ang Director ng National Bureau of Investigation, dahil nga doon sa kahilingan na kailangan mas maaga siyang maisalang dito sa impeachment trial kung sakasakaling kailangan ng kanyang testimonya dahil paalis siya doon sa petsa na dapat ay meron siyang biyahe sa abroad. Yung matatanda na dapat niyang daluhan ng isang event. Kaya nagpumiling ito na kung maaari ay mas maaga siyang maisalang dito sa impeachment court. Yun sa mga yung kapwa team ng defense at prosecution ay nakita na natin na maaga pa ay nandito at nagbigay na sila ng kanilang news briefing sa ating mga kasamaan sa media. Iyan muna at paunang mga kaganapan para sa day 4 ng impeachment trial kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Para sa VP Sara Impeachment Trial Special Coverage ng DZRH, DZRH 28 Raymond Dadbaas para sa DZRH, una sa Pilipinas, una sa Pilipinas.
Maraming salamat, Raymond. Samantala, Vice President Sara Duterte Carpio may game plan. Sa pagtestigo ng kanyang Chief of Staff na si Attorney Zuleika Lopez. Aris number 7, Henry Uri, please come in. Henry.
Deo, Attorney Cam, wawasto ko lang ng konti yung unang nabanggit ninyo na hindi si Vice President Sara Duterte ang gagamit ng game plan. Ang gagamit ng game plan ay ang kanyang mga defense lawyer. Ayon dito sa natatapos lamang na exclusive interview ko kay Atty. Michael Poe, ang tagapagsalita ng defense panel, sinabi nito dahil Attorney Cam na gagamitan na ng sariling game plan ng mga defense lawyer ni Vice President Sara Duterte dito sa impeachment trial ang pagtistigo ng mismong Chief of Staff ng Office of the Vice President si Attorney Zuleika Lopez. Si Attorney Lopez, ang Chief of Staff ni VP Sara, na nakontempt at nakulong sa House of Representatives matapos umarap sa Quadcom hearing noong 2024 ay ipinasadpi na nga ng Senate impeachment trial bilang isang hostile witness. Sa exclusive interview ng DCRH kay Atty. Michael Poe, tagapagsalita ng defense panel, sinabi nito na obserbahan muna nila ang pagiging testigo ni Lopez bago nila ito i-cross-examine. Magamat hindi dinetalye, idinagdag ni Poe na nakahanda naman sila at may sarili silang game plan sa pagtistigo ni Lopez. Narito si Attorney Michael Poa.
So sa ngayon, titingnan muna natin kung ano yung magiging manner of presentation ng prosecution sa kanya, and based on sa gagawin ng prosecution, we will just have to cross-examine.
Apo, pero nagpapasalamat ba kayo na isa siya sa sinabi na ng prosecution?
Hindi naman po. Sa amin kasi we have our own game plan, obviously, and I'm sure the prosecution also has their own game plan. Parati ko ang sinasabi, yung pagpapatawag ng mga witnesses, kung sino man yan, whether it be Attorney Laika, whether it be myself even, yan po ay prerogativa ng prosecution. At meron din kaming sariling prerogativa kung sino yung mga tatawagin namin witnesses. So that's okay, that's regular. At sa amin lang naman po, parte ng trabaho yan. Once they've called the witness, our job right now at this phase of the trial is really to cross-examine the witnesses.
Ang pinig ni Attorney Michael Poe, tagapagsalita ng Defense. Samantala, Deo, ang defense panel ay hindi po na nagpahayag kung sino ang gagamitin nilang lawyer para mag-cross-examine kung sakali. Dito naman sa ihaharap na witness of prosecution na si Attorney Jeremy Lotop ng NBI. Sabi ni Poa, titingnan na lamang nila ang galaw at ang tatakbuhin ng pagdinig ngayong hapon kung si Attorney nagbasa pa rin ang kanilang gagawing cross-examiner or kung may ibang witness sila o may ibang abogado silang gagamitin sa panig naman ng defense panel. Para sa Vice President Sara Duterte impeachment trial, special coverage ng DZRH. Ako si Henry Uri para sa DZRH, una sa Pilipinas. Una sa Pilipino.
Maraming salamat, Henry, sa panig ng prosecution attorney.
Sa panig naman ng prosecution team magiging consistent sa mga pasabog sa impeachment trial. RH12, Miss Milky Rigunan, ibalita mo nga to, Miss Milky.
Lakay at Attorney Cam titiyaki na merong fireworks ang House Prosecution Team tuwing merong mga impeachment trial. Sagot ito ni House Deputy Speaker Paulo Ortega V. Sa balagyaang tanong kung meron bang pasabog ang prosecution team tuwing impeachment trial. Ayon kay Ortega, committed ang prosecution panel na bawat linggo ng impeachment trial ay may mga pasabog o malalaking balita sa pagsalang ng mga witness ng prosecution para pagtibay ng mga alegasyon laban sa Vice Presidente. Narito si House Deputy Majority Leader Paulo Ortega V.
Sigurado yan na nakahanda at mas maingay ang ebidensya sa kahit anumang ingay sa palibot ng ating impeachment. So, consistency siguro ang magiging tema sa kalakas ng ebidensya ng buong impeachment trial.
On a lighter side, Lakay at Attorney Cam, sinabi naman ni Ortega na karapatan ng depensa na mag-request ng mga pangailangan dahil magiging matagal ang impeachment trial. Nantanungin naman kung meron din bang request. Ang panig ng prosecution, sinabi na meron naman daw silang kanya-kanyang baon na mga pagkain, kape at iba pa. Nangako rin daw si House Prosecutor Joel Chua na magdadala ng masarap na hopya. Ang pangalan daw Master at ito ay kilala sa Quiapo. Para sa VP Sara Impeachment Trial, the DZRH Special Coverage, ako si Milky Rigunan. Una sa Pilipinas, una sa Pilipino.
Maraming salamat, Milky. Sa labas naman ng Senado, may mga rally. Giselle Ricafort, please come in. Giselle.
Lakay, nag-protesta ang grupong One Faith, One Nation, One Voice dito sa labas ng Senado ngayong ika-4 na araw ng impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. May 50 miyembro ng grupo yung nagsagawa ng ecumenical prayer sa area kung saan nagsindi sila ng 3 malalaking kandila dito. Suportado nila yung paglilitis sa pangalawang Pangulo kasabay ng panawagan para sa katotohanan, tarungan at pananagutan. Sigaw ng grupo, tama na, sobra na at dapat managot ang lahat ng sangkot sa korupsyon sa pamahalaan. Panahon sa paghahari ng mga top na political dynasty sa Pilipinas. Agad namang nagbarikada sa gitnang Senado ang mahigit 300 pulis para tiyakin yung mapayapang pagtitipon. Matapos yung ilang minuto, mapayapa naman na nag-disperse yung grupo at gumilid na rin yung mga nagbarikadang kapulisan. Samantala, may mangilang-ilang Duterte supporter dito sa paligid ng Senado sa ngayon. Para sa the PB Sara Impeachment Trial, the DZRH Special Coverage, ito si Giselle Ricafort para sa DZRH, una sa Pilipinas, una sa Pilipino.
Maraming salamat, Giselle. Balikan natin ang loob, attorney.
Ito, naka-ready na si RH28. Kamusta na dyan sa Senado? Nag-start na ba ang trial? Raymond Dadpaas, please come in.
Attorney at Mayor, 18 ang mga senador na tumugon sa quorum call ngayong hapon. Dito sa day 4 ng impeachment trial, pinangunahan ni Senador J.B. Ejercito ang opening prayer at ngayon agad nagsimula. Pero tumayo si Senator Rafi Tulfo, tinatanong itong si Attorney Mark Minluan doon sa binanggit nito na Oplan Romanov na di umani may balak i-eliminate ang pamilya ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Kaya doon sa nangyaring news conference noong November 2024, kaya ito ay doon ibinulalas ng Vice Presidente ang kanyang personal na damdamin. Ito, pakinggan natin si Senator Rafi Tulfo at si Attorney Minluan tungkol nag-usapan yung Oplan Romanov.
First time I've heard about this Romanov is during the Maisog Leaders Forum in Davao City. That was on January 28, 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was mentioned by Mayor Baste Duterte. At that time, hindi ko alam anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov at sino mga ito. In fact, ginugil ko yan. Sino itong family Romanov? So napag-alaman ko, apparently, they were the ruling family in Russia that was murdered by the Bolsheviks in the night of July 16, 1918. Malapit-lapit na sa anniversary, 108th anniversary. Kasi ano ba tayo ngayon, July 13. Anyway, may relasyon ba ito sa binanggit ni Baste sa sinabi ni Princess Maui at yung binanggit mo? Magkakarelasyon ba yung tatlo?
Your Honor, I have no personal knowledge of what Mayor Baste said, so I cannot comment on that, Your Honor.
So hindi mo napanood yun? Hindi...
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And last question. What did you mean when you said that BP Sara's response was unconventional?
Your Honor, it was a description, Your Honor, of the statements that she made during that press call.
Kaya, why do you consider it, why is it unconventional?
Your Honor, the basic meaning of the word is, it will explain itself, Your Honor.
Okay. That's all, Presiding Judge. And
noted and entered into the records. Yes, what is the pleasure of the Honorable Defensor, one of the members of the panel of prosecutors? You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honors. Your Honors, before we proceed with the examination of our second witness, Your Honors, the prosecution is in receipt of a letter dated July 10, 2026 from NBI Director Melvin A. Matibag, requesting that his testimony be scheduled or calendared at the earliest setting, considering that the National Bureau of Investigation, Your Honors, has been invited by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in coordination with the Royal Thai Police for a regional summit on scam center compounds and transnational organized crime. In that regard, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to request that the scheduled testimony of NBI Director Melvin Matibag be scheduled tomorrow after the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy A. Loto.
After the testimony of your second witness?
Yes, Your Honors.
But the supposed witness scheduled for tomorrow is Attorney Zulaika Lopez, per the gentleman's manifestation in the last hearing.
That's correct, Your Honor. After we have dispensed with the testimony of NBI Director Matibag, we can proceed with the schedule of witnesses as provided in the list to the senator judges last week, Your Honors.
To include Captain Bello, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, we can proceed with Attorney Lopez and Captain Bello as manifested last week, Your Honors.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano Allen?
Mr. Presiding Officer, if no one objects, I will not object to having Director Matibag yesterday, but maybe as a caution to government officials, my good friend, Congressman Defensor, I read over the weekend that Director Matibag is writing because he is to be in a convention meeting the FBI next week. So actually, we're going to be here 30 weeks. We have put aside many, many important things. We have put aside many foreign trips, many local trips, whether it's to help dun sa tinamaan ng lindol sa Mindanao or tinatamaan ng baha ngayon, because we have to be here 2 o'clock until matapos tayo every Monday to Wednesday, then after the SONA every Tuesday to Wednesday. I find it in bad taste that a bureau head will dictate to us that he's not available next week. I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs. That's why you have undersecretaries. That's why you have deputy directors. So I mean, I admire the patience of the prosecution, no? But even the prosecution, they have a way of timing and laying down the witnesses. So I don't want later on to say na dapat natanong ko muna to sa unang witness, kaya lang si Director Matibag inuna dahil ganito, ganyan. No, so I'd like to put that on the record and ask my colleagues if that's acceptable to us. I mean, yung 20, well, at least those who are not in jail, or the 21 of us are here, the whole government nakatutok, we put aside so many important things. And then one witness who is in the government, who is a bureau head, will tell us sorry, but because he has to be with the FBI, siya na yung mauna tomorrow. That might be a bad precedent, Mr. Presiding Officer.
May I be allowed to give a reply, Your
Gentleman
Honor?
will please respond to the point of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano.
With due respect to the Honorable Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano, we will always respect the decision of the Honorable Court. However, we will only be advancing his testimony one day based on the subpoena that we have requested the Honorable Court. He is scheduled to testify until Wednesday, and that we will not disrupt the scheduled list of witnesses. We will simply advance it one day, Your Honor.
With due respect, Congressman Representative Defensor, I asked that question poignantly last week. If Matibag will be one of your witnesses for this week, and you said no. In fact, you corrected Attorney Ligutan when he mentioned Director Matibag as one of your witnesses, and instead gave me a list of Lotok, Zulaika Lopez, and Captain Bello. Matibag was not included. In fact, I don't think we issued a subpoena for Director Matibag for this week, given your manifestation after you took over, given that you have, as you said, control and supervision over the counsel for the prosecutors. So he's not in your list this week. He's not being advanced for a day, sir.
May I respond, Your Honors?
Please so.
Your Honors, that's correct. I gave a list of witnesses scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. However, Your Honor, to add, I also added that since NBI Director Matibag has been requested for a subpoena to testify within the week, I also added in my statement that we will inform the Honorable Court which day we can present the Honorable Matibag, and I was expecting him to be presented on one Wednesday after the testimony of Captain Belinda Bello, Your Honors.
I confirm that, but the situation is, given the one witness per day rule that we supposedly have under the rules of court, no subpoena has yet been issued to Director Matibag to appear this week. Can the Clerk of Court kindly confirm that for us on the record?
No subpoena has been issued for NBI Director Matibag.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Actually, my statement and my question to the court is not really addressed to the prosecution. You will have to do the best you can to represent, what you're fighting for. No, so I commend you for adjusting. But my recollection is, because I'm also waiting for his testimony, and my recollection last week is said that we will not see him this week. And I think 11 days, no? 11 days ang...
That's correct, Your Honor.
Sa article na to. So we're on day 4. So kung hindi siya pwedeng next week, that's day 7, 8, 9. Again, I don't want to dictate sa prosecution or but to to suddenly say na tomorrow na siya, when I'm preparing for our oral argument tomorrow and the other witnesses is a little bit, it's a small inconvenience for today. But I hope it doesn't become a rule, especially for a bureau head. I mean, if no one else objects, but if someone objects, I don't think it's really a good rule. You know, rules are important. I'll have to keep, you say technicalities. No, rules are important. So even yung notice, we agreed on, presiding officer, 3-day ba? 5-day notice.
5 days for witnesses not mentioned in the pre-trial order.
And then 3 days kapag
3 days, given the fact that we will be announcing the witnesses for the following week on the last day.
Yeah, anyway, I said my piece, but I hope we will not be able to move faster if we have to accommodate the witnesses, especially if they're in government.
May I add something, Your Honors?
Before the Honorable Defensor, Presiding Officer would like to hear from the counsel for the respondents. Attorney Binlon, what say you?
Yes, Your Honor. We would have to oppose on the basis of the following. Number one, it will be in violation, Your Honor, of the impeachment court's directive that was given last week, insofar as the identities of the witnesses and as well as the order of the presentation. Number two, Your Honor, it will be, again, as mentioned by Senator Judge Cayetano, a violation of the 5-day notice rule. Since while he was subpoenaed the week before, Your Honor, we are learning that he will be presented this week, so the 5-day notice will not be observed. Number three, the prosecution cannot compel also the defense and this impeachment court to present witnesses according to their schedule, considering also that these witnesses have already been identified and determined. Of course, it will be a violation of the basic tenets of fair play, and to join again the manifestation of Senator Judge Cayetano, it will set a bad precedent insofar as surprise witnesses will be allowed at any point of the proceedings. Number five would be, it will also violate our right to cross-examine intelligently. We have done our best to prepare for their witnesses. However, these last-minute changes really affect the preparation involved, Your Honor, and insofar as laying down the case that we want to establish. And finally, if there are violations of these proceeding rights, there will be a violation of procedural due process, which of course can give way to another ground to further delay the proceedings. Moreover, Your Honor, we would, if the prosecution would also allow, can we also get a copy, Your Honor, of that invitation, and maybe inquire of the prosecution if the particular travel authority has already been made? Because, Your Honor, we received information as well that the FBI had already conducted a summit, a regional summit of some sort, but it was conducted in other words, last month, Your Honor, also in Bangkok, Thailand. So we would have to, again, manifest, and we would have to study, Your Honor, the invitation, and counter-check and do the proper verification as well. So that if it is indeed viable, then we would understand, Your Honor, why it has to be attended to by Director Matibag, Your Honor.
Senate President Gatchalian is recognized. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Sinusuportahan ko po yung statement ni Senator Judge Alan Cayetano dahil hindi lang naman po yung counsels ng prosecution at defense na naghahanda, pati mo mga senator judges naghahanda rin. At sa totoo lang ho, itong weekend, marami rin sa ating mga senator judges ay pinag-aaralan kung ano yung kanilang maitatanong sa mga testigong ihaharap po ngayong linggo. Marami po ay pinag-aaralan po yung mga ebidensyang in-upload na ho para po sa ating mga senator judges. At hindi ho ito konting ebidensya, pinag-uusapan ho natin dito. Libo-libong mga papel at libo-libong mga ebidensya. Kaya kung bigla pong may isisingit na testigo, hindi ho rin makakahanda po yung ating mga senator judges sa kanilang pagtatanong at hindi rin ho nilang mababasa yung mga dokumento at ebidensya na nakakabit ho doon sa testigong iharap. Kaya napakahirap naman po na naghahanda ho tayo pero biglang may mga ganitong suppression na hindi ho natin paghahandaan at hindi naman ho yan magiging maayos at patas para po sa ating mga senator judges. Maraming salamat po.
For the record, Chair would like to confirm the statement of the Honorable Defensor. I will quote, Presiding Officer, quote, so Director Matibag is not yet going to be presented next week. Representative Defensor, not yet, Your Honor. We will manifest on Monday. If we can consider him for the Wednesday session, depending on how the trial goes and how long the testimonies will take for both parties. With the permission of Senators, Senator Judge Cayetano and the Senate President, may we defer our ruling on this matter and ask the counsel for the prosecution to submit to us the letter given to you by Director Matibag for us to be able to look at it, copy furnished, of course, the counsel for the respondent, so that we can adequately go over it and hopefully come up with a ruling before the day is over.
Yes, sir. We submit,
would that
Your
be
Honor.
possible?
We will submit the letter.
Thank you, Your Honor. So we shall do it that way. Kindly furnish a copy to the counsel for the respondents as well for their review.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Counsel for respondent, Attorney Villanueva.
Your Honor, if the travel authority is also available, if we can ask for a travel authority, if it's already issued.
Yes, of course. Kindly furnish us that as well.
Your Honors, we will submit in good faith whatever the prosecution has received from Director Matibag, Your Honor.
As well as
kindly communicate with him, if possible, if he already has a travel authority for the same, so that we could evaluate it based on what you have. We cannot evaluate it based on what you don't have, so we will presume if you don't have it, it's not yet there.
Your Honor,
Yes,
one last
Attorney
addition. Considering that there's if and when they provide the travel authority, I understand, Your Honor, that one of the requirements is also the official invitation from the foreign body. So if they can also provide that, Your Honor, so that we can do a full review of this matter.
Attorney Villanueva, it's not really for the full review of the counsel for the prosecution, but rather for this court's evaluation, whether or not to allow the motion of the panel of prosecutors. But everything that will be submitted to us, you will be furnished with a copy.
We will
so that you can argue your way through this motion before we decide on it. So ordered. Counsel for the panel of prosecutors, kindly call your next witness.
Your Honors, I respectfully request that the counsel for the panel of House prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized for the presentation of our second witness.
Attorney Ligutan, counsel for the prosecutors, is recognized to present the prosecution's second witness. You may proceed, sir.
Mayong hapon sa atong tanan, the second witness for the prosecution is no other than Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, Your Honor, please. We call to the witness stand Attorney Lotok.
Kindly situate Attorney Lotok to the witness stand.
Picture.
Attorney Lotok, please remain standing as the clerk of court administers the oath. Yes, so far as the prosecution's second witness is concerned. Clerk of court is recognized.
Please raise your right hand. You, Jeremy C. Lotok.
I, Jeremy C. Lotok.
Do swear.
Do swear.
That the evidence you shall give.
That the evidence that I will be giving.
In the case now pending.
In the case now pending.
Between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
Between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Your witness, counsel for the prosecutors.
Attorney Lotok, you may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honors, the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, is offered to prove the following. Number one, Jeremy Lotok is a lawyer by profession, and he was the chief of the Cybercrime Division of the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, in 2024. Pangalawa, kasama siya sa NBI team na nagsagawa ng investigasyon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente na ginawa sa isang online media briefing noong Nobyembre 23, taong 2024, kung saan diniklara ng Vice Presidente na siya ay kumontrata na ng isang tao para patayin ang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang dating Speaker ng House of Representatives. Pangatlo, napag-alaman ng NBI na ang mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente ay seryoso at totoo. Matapos silang isaalang-alang ang mga sumusunod. Una, the manner of the respondent's delivery of the statement that she intended her remarks to be real and serious threats. She was not merely joking when she uttered those threats. Pangalawa, mga kababayan, even before that fateful press conference on November 23, 2024, bago yung press conference na yan, may nakontrata ng mamamatay tao yung Vice Presidente. Bago pa man ang press conference na yan. Pangatlo, ang utos ng Vice Presidente sa assassin na huwag siyang titigil hanggat hindi napapatay ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas, ang unang ginang at ang Speaker ng House of Representatives ay nagpapakita na ang Vice Presidente ay determinado at porsigido sa kanyang pagbabanta. Number 4, the result of the investigation and after determining that the respondent's threats are serious and real, led the NBI to file complaints for 3 counts of grave threats and 1 count of inciting to sedition. Number 5, this witness, Attorney Lotok, will identify and authenticate the affidavit of investigation, the annexes, as well as a couple of videos in relation to the NBI's investigation. And number 6 offer, he will also testify on such other matters as are relevant and material to the impeachment of the Vice President. Ready for comment, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent, Attorney Binluan.
Subject of cross, Your Honor.
Thank you so much.
The counsel for the prosecutor may proceed.
Daghang salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer, Honorable Judges. Attorney Lotok.
Sir.
Maupay nga kulup haibo.
Maupay nga kulup man, sir.
Waray-waray po. We are both waray-waray. At the same time, si Wano, Attorney Lotok, pwede bang mas malapit pa sa microphone para marinig ng sambayanan lahat ng isasagot ko mo sa mga tanong ko? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lotok, kindly state your name, edad, and other personal circumstances.
I am Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, 50 years of age, and currently the Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Sinabi mo ikaw ay isang abogado, Attorney Lotok, di ba?
Opo.
Now, yung tanong, kailan ka naging membro ng ating Philippine Bar?
I was admitted to the Philippine Bar and took my lawyer's oath in 2013, sir.
2013. Now, Mr. Lotoc, ano ba yung current position mo, occupation mo, kung meron man?
The regional director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Ikaw ay isang NBI regional director for BARM. Now, yung tanong is, how long have you been with the NBI?
I've been in the NBI for the past 12 years, sir.
12 years. No? Tanong is, I think, based on my counting, that would be since 2014. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Now, kailan ka ba na-designate as the NBI Regional Director ng BARM?
I was designated in January this year as Regional Director of the NBI BARM, sir.
January 2026. Now, prior to your designation as the NBI Regional Director for BARM, ano ba yung previous position mo within NBI?
I was the Regional Director for Region 4B or Mimaropa, sir. I think July 2025.
July 2025 you became. Okay, now, prior to your designation as NBI Regional Director for Mimaropa, what was your previous position kung meron man?
I was the Chief of the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, kailan ka? Kailan ka na-designate as Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
I was designated in February 2023, sir.
2023, no? Now, sinabi mo ikaw ay naging Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Attorney Lotoc, is what were your primary duties and functions bilang hepe ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
Primary duties, among others, to plan, direct, supervise the investigation of cybercrime cases pursuant to Republic Act 10175 and other relevant laws. And part of my duties and responsibilities is to investigate high-profile cases pursuant to Republic Act 10867, specifically crimes committed by, through and with the use of information and communication technology, sir.
Now, Mr. Witness, of course, you are aware na ikaw ay tumitestigo sa impeachment trial ng respondent. Now, yung tanong is, kilala mo ba yung respondent sa kasong ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, yung tanong now is, why do you know her?
She is the incumbent Vice President of the Philippines, and she is the subject of the investigation by the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
So, nasabi mo, she is the subject of an investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotoc, is kailan ba? Kailan nagsimula yung investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division on the respondent?
November 23, 2024, sir.
November 23, 2024. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotoc, is why? Why did the Cybercrime Division commence an investigation on the Vice President?
We were directed by the then Director Judge IBB Santiago to conduct an investigation with regard to a certain video involving an online press conference held on November 23, 2024, where the Vice President uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, Lisa Marcos, and the former Speaker of the House, sir.
Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotoc, is, sa pagkakaalam mo, or kung alam mo, ba't yung NBI, yung inatasang gumawa ng investigasyon na ito?
Well, under the law, specifically Republic Act 10867, the NBI has primary jurisdiction to undertake investigations on cases, among others, cases involving threats to security and assault against the persons of the highest officials, sir.
So, threats or assaults on or against highest officials, sabi mo, di ba? Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotoc, is, sino ba yung mga highest officials na kung may threats or may assault sa kanila, NBI has to do it, an investigation. Sino yung mga officials na ito?
Yes, Your Honor. They are the President, the Vice President, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, sir.
All right. Now, so you mentioned Presidente, Vice President, tsaka yung iba pa. Now, you mentioned, Attorney Lotok, that the NBI conducted an investigation on the respondents' statements during an online media briefing on November 23, 2024. Yung tanong now, Attorney Lotok, is, what exactly did the respondents say on that day that resulted to the investigation?
On that online press conference held on November 23, 2024, the Vice President uttered the following. Huwag kang mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko sapagkat may kinausap na akong tao. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Marcos, si Martin Romualdez. No joke, no joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, pag namatay ako, huwag kang tumigil hanggat hindi mo sila mapapatay. And he said yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Attorney Lotok, no, yun yung statement. No? Now, sino ba yung mga membro ng investigation team na galing sa division mo, yung Cybercrime Division?
We have Attorney Van Angluben, the then Executive Officer for Operations ng Cybercrime Division. Attorney Vanessa Asuncion, the Executive Officer for Administration back then. John Mark Calilong, the agent on case, and myself, Your Honor.
You mentioned Agent John Mark Calilong.
Yes, Your Honor.
The same person who testified before you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, how did your division commence the investigation?
I instructed the team, specifically Agent Calilong, that for this particular case, we have to follow the 5 phases or stages of cybercrime investigation, sir.
So you instructed John Mark Calilong to follow 4 stages of the investigation?
The team and John Mark Calilong, sir.
Now, you mentioned, Attorney Lotok, yung 4 stages ng Cybercrime Division for the information ng ating honorable judges sa kanyang publiko. And this is the question now, ano ba yung 4 stages ng investigation na ito?
Yeah, Your Honor. For that particular case, first, the identification and preservation of the digital evidence, the collection and hashing of that same digital evidence, that's the second phase, the analysis and attribution phase, the third one, and then the legal evaluation and case filing as the final phase, sir.
Mm-hmm. So these are the 4 stages. Now, if you know, what was Agent Calilong's response, and if any, sa naging instruction mo sa kanya na sundin yung 4 stages ng cybercrime investigation?
Well, he said yes, and then he proceeded to identify. He proceeded to identify and preserve.
Continue.
Identify and preserve the digital evidence in question, sir.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said and that you instructed Agent Calilong to identify and preserve. Na-mention mo, digital evidence. Yung tanong now is, what is this evidence that you are referring to?
It refers to a certain video, Your Honor, involving an online press conference held on November 23, 2024, which was streamed through the Facebook page of one Attorney Herminio Lopez Roque Jr. or Harry Roque, Your Honor.
So it was the Facebook page of Harry Roque who live streamed the video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Witness, After Agent Calilong identified and preserved yung sinasabi mong video, which you said is the first stage of the investigation, ano yung nangyari after that kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo?
Yes, Your Honor. The agent on case proceeded to collect that digital evidence and generated hash value on that digital evidence, and at the same time stored that in a data carrier, Your Honor.
Alam mo, Attorney Lotoc, this is the first time na narinig natin yung term na hash value. And I think it's just proper na yung next question ko para malaman ng publiko, Attorney Lotoc, ano ba yung hash value na yan?
Well, under the implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act 10175 or the Reorganization and Modernization Act of NBI, hash value refers to a mathematical algorithm applied to the information like the file, the physical disk, or the logical disk, in this case, the digital evidence, thereby creating a digital fingerprint or DNA for that information or digital evidence, Your Honor.
So to create a fingerprint for the video, is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the video.
All right. Now, Mr. Witness, after the identification, preservation, collection, and hashing, so far these are the two stages, what happened next, if any, in relation to your investigation on the Vice President's statement?
We proceeded to the analysis and attribution phase.
Now, ano yung nangyari kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, in this analysis and attribution phase?
In the analysis, we established the intent, the motive, the capability of the Vice President to carry out the threat she mentioned, as well as we proceeded to identify the individuals present in that press conference on November 23, 2024, sir.
Okay, so sinabi mo, you proceeded to identify the different individuals in that video. Siguro yung publiko, they're now interested. So, what happened? What happened pagkatapos yung mag-proceed sa pag-identify sino ba yung nasa video na yan?
First, we have identified media personalities from Philippine Daily Inquirer, from the Manila Times, from the Reuters, SMNI, etc. And then we have also identified the Vice President herself, who in their presence, openly and publicly, uttered that she had already contracted a person to kill the President, Lisa Marcos, and the former Speaker of the House, and instructed the person to be relentless in killing the three. And it was streamed through the Facebook page again of Harry Roque, Your Honor.
You said to be relentless in the killing. Okay, now, after finding out that indeed the Vice President uttered that, to be relentless in the killing, what happened next, if any, in relation to the investigation you conducted?
We continued the open source investigation to determine if there were utterances made by the Vice President in previous dates, Your Honor.
Now, ano ba yung naging resulta, kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, sa naging open source investigation ng NBI into sinasabi mong mga previous statements ng Vice President?
We have found a press conference dated October 18, 2024, streamed through the official Facebook page of the Office of the Vice President. And we were able to identify, for us, being the investigator, at least three material lines or utterances made by the Vice President, sir.
Okay. So you said in that press conference, sinabi mo, you found three utterances or statements ng Vice President. Okay,
among others, sir, yeah.
Among others. So let's focus on these three. Ano ba yung three statements na sinasabi mo?
Well, the first one, the Vice President uttered gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? And then the second one, the Vice President uttered, I realized toxic na itong relationship, referring to the relationship between the Vice President and the President. And then number 3, I imagine myself cutting his head.
Okay na.
Your Honor.
Recap, sinabi mo, gusto kong tanggalin ng ulo niya. And then sinabi mo rin sa third, I imagine cutting his head. Based on your investigation, Attorney Lotok, kaninong ulo ba yung rinirefer ng Vice President na gusto niyang tanggalin?
The President of the Republic of the Philippines, sir.
Yung ulo ng Presidente ng Republika ng Pilipinas.
Opo.
What proof, if any, do you have that the Vice President said this?
We have that video, Your Honor, dated October 18, 2024.
Now, kung maalala mo, Mr. Witness, saang portion ng video na iyan maririnig yung Vice President, sinasabi yung mga katagang, gusto kong tanggalin yung ulo niya, imagine myself cutting his head.
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
Your Honor, I move that...
Witness may do so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may my co-counsel be allowed also to produce?
Yes, counsel for respondent may observe as the witness peruses his notes.
Your Honor, may we also be allowed to do the same through
similar order with respect to the counsel for the prosecutor?
Your Honor, from timestamps 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 57 seconds to 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 10 seconds. And then 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 52 seconds. And then 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Okay, so far, Your Honor, for the record, okay, Your Honor, please, sorry. The gentleman mentioned 2 timestamps. So, question, if those portions, are shown to you, will you be able to identify the same?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this juncture, Your Honor, please, the video has already been identified, marked and identified by our previous witness, and it is marked as Exhibit P-Roman numeral 4-11 for the prosecution. We move that these 2 portions with individual timestamps, as mentioned, be shown to this witness for his identification, Your Honor, please.
Where is the USB, counsel?
Your Honor, we move that we be allowed to unseal the marked exhibit, Your Honor, please, that was presented last time, Your Honor, please. It's with us. It's with the prosecution.
Kindly unseal the document in the presence of the counsel for respondent. Witness is instructed to unseal the USB. This has been previously marked. So after the unsealing, counsel for the prosecutor and for the respondent are instructed to kindly accompany each other to the tech booth to make sure it is the same, one and the same USB that will be played.
So, binubuksan po yung USB sa isang envelope bilang bahagi po ng ebidensya.
Kung may bala kayong buksan ulit, huwag nyo na masyadong i-tape na madami. Para hindi masyadong matagal pag i-unseal.
lumabas na yung USB. At
for the record, this will be timestamps 1 hour 35 minutes to 57 seconds to 1 hour 36 minutes and 10 seconds for the first timestamp. For the first portion. And the second portion is from 1 hour 36 minutes to 52 seconds to 1 hour 36 minutes and 58 seconds.
Ang paglilitis.
Gusto ko tanggalin yung ulo niya ba? I realized toxic na yung relationship.
There's one more, Counsel, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Waiting for the second video. Consisting of 6 seconds only, Your Honor, please.
Imagined myself cutting his head.
Okay, thank you so much. Your Honor, please. May proceed, Your Honor, please.
Counsel may proceed.
Mr. Witness, what relation, if any, do those videos have, portions of the videos have, with the video you mentioned earlier?
That's the same video I mentioned, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's proceed. Attorney Lotok now. After you discovered these previous statements by the Vice President, what happened next, if any, in relation to the investigation you conducted on the Vice President's statements on November 23, 2024?
Yes, Your Honor. We have also discovered reactions from the recipients, specifically from the President himself, the Speaker of the House, relevant government agencies tasked to secure the life of the President and the national security,
okay.
Your Honor.
Thank you so much. You know, Mr. Witness, let's focus on the President kasi it's his head eh. Ulo ng Presidente yung gustong tanggalin ng Vice President. Let's focus on the President. Now, what did he say again in particular?
If I may refer to my notes, sir.
Your Honor.
You may do so.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Tinitingnan po ng testigo ang kanyang notes.
Yes, Your Honor. Among others, Quote, nakakabahala ang mga pahayag na narinig natin nitong mga nakaraang araw. Nandyan ang walang pakundangang pagbumura at ang pagbabanta ng planong ipapatay ang ilan sa atin. Kung ganun na lang kadali ang pagplano sa pagpatay ng isang presidente, paano pa kaya ang mga pangkaraniwan na mamamayan? Yang ganyang kriminal na pagtatangka ay hindi dapat pinalalampas. Yan ay aking papalagan. Unquote.
Now, thank you so much. Okay. Attorney Lotok, you said that the former Speaker of the House of Representatives also gave yung tugon niya sa naging mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente laban sa buhay niya. Could you just summarize exactly ano ba yung tugon ng former Speaker ng House of Representatives?
Yes, Your Honor, if I remember it right, I think the Speaker issued a statement during the plenary session November 25, 2024, which was published in the ANC Digital. And then, among others, the former speaker stated that the utterances were dangerous, unprecedented, isa itong banta sa demokrasya at sa seguridad ng bansa.
Alright, now, Mr. Witness, Attorney Lotok, sinabi mo rin na may mga ahensya ng gobyerno na nagbigay din ng kanilang tugon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente. If you may, anong mga ahensya na ito?
Yes, Your Honor. For one, the Presidential Communications Office, the Philippine National Police, the National Security Council, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Okay. Let's focus on muna sa Presidential Communications Office. Na ano ba yung statement ng Presidential Communications Office kung alam mo?
If I remember it right, the PCO classified the threat as an active threat.
As an active threat.
And directed the Presidential Security Command to, I think, investigate the matter.
As an active threat.
It was the Executive Secretary who directed the Presidential Security Command, so based on that statement.
Okay. Now, sinabi mo rin yung Philippine National Police. Yung tanong is kung maalala mo, ano ba yung sinabi ng PNP in response sa naging mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente sa buhay ng Presidente sa kayong dalawa pa?
Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
Your Honor?
You may do so, Your Honor. You may do so, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Philippine National Police issued a statement relative to the press conference made by the Vice President. Quote, the Philippine National Police threats any threat to the safety and security of the President and all public officials with the utmost seriousness in light of the Vice President Sara Duterte's recent statement, which directly referenced an assassin contracted to target the President. The PNP recognizes the grave nature of this matter. The safety of the President is a national concern, and any direct or indirect threat to his life must be addressed with the highest level of urgency. Close, unquote. Hindi ko na binasa lahat.
Now,
Your Honor.
Attorney Lotok, now, the PNP used, based on your statement as the response of the PNP used the term assassin in referring to the person contracted by the Vice President to kill the President and two others?
Your Honor, it was not just the PNP, even the Presidential Communications Office also used the term assassin, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, what about the National Security Council? Ano bang sinabi ng NSC kung alam mo?
Again, Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes. Pwede na ba?
Your Honor? Your Honor? May the witness be allowed to refer to his notes once more?
You may do so, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the question was about the statement of the NSC, right?
Yes.
Quote, the National Security Council considers all threats to the President of the Philippines as serious. Any and all threats against the life of the President shall be validated and considered a matter of national security, unquote.
Okay. Now, sinabi mo rin na yung Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP nagbigay din ng kanilang response sa naging pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente. Kung alam mo, tsaka kung maaalala mo, ano ba yung sinabi ng Armed Forces of the Philippines?
Same, Your Honor, if I may refer to my notes.
The record were far away.
For orderly proceeding, Your Honor, please, I think it's proper for Attorney Season to ask to be recognized first.
Yes, Your Honor, we will do that. If I may be recognized, Your Honor.
Depends. What is the pleasure of Attorney Counsel for Respondent Attorney Season?
We'll just state an observation on the note.
Your Honor, I think...
Counsel, we agreed
first
that only one counsel shall speak insofar as the presentation of a witness is concerned. This was objected to by the counsel for respondents, even if it was asked for by the counsel for the prosecutors.
Your Honor, for the record, we are not objecting, but for a properly proceeding Attorney Season...
Counsel, it's okay. The chair will make a ruling. Attorney Binluan can handle with your permission, Attorney Season.
Your Honor, I'd just like to share the observation that the witness is reading from notes, from his notes, and not directly from the document that he identified.
And if I may reply to that, Your Honor, to that non-issue, Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
Your Honor, there's nothing...
Yes, counsel for the prosecutors.
Your Honor, wala po sa rules na kailangan na yung tugon ng isang witness, sinabi niyang notes, dapat based sa isang dokumento. In fact, Your Honor, please, yung iniisip ng ating rules, yung mga notes na ginawa mismo ng witness. For the public, if you're interested, you may look at Rule 130, Section 16 ng Rules of Court. Andun yun, pwedeng tingnan ng isang testigo yung notes na ginawa niya. Rule 130, Section 16, Honor, please.
Before I recognize counsel for respondent, Senator Judge Lacson, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. This is relevant to the discussion.
The gentleman may proceed, and he has 2 minutes.
Yes. You requested to refer to your notes, a number of times during your direct examination. Ang tanong ko, are you referring to an investigator's notes or notebook, or simply notes?
No, Your Honor. During the investigation, I have copies of the affidavit of investigation that we have.
Yeah, I asked that question because my understanding of an investigator's notes or notebook to be credible and may even be used as part of the examination or evidence in chief, depending on its authenticity and purpose. And the rule of evidence is that the contents therein were written on the exact dates when the subjects of those notes actually happened. Ito yung ginawa nyo mismo?
Yes, Your Honor, during the investigation.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Senator Judge Lacson. Noted and entered in the records. Counsel for respondent, what is your pleasure?
Your Honor, that was mere manifestation, Your Honor. We just want to put it for the record.
There being no objection, some witness may proceed and answer, or counsel may proceed with his questions.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines. Ano sinabi ng Armed Forces? Are we done? Not yet. Okay, so let's go back.
Yeah, if I may, Your Honor.
Yes.
Witness may continue to answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. On November 23, 2024, General Romeo S. Browner, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, issued the following statements. Quote, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is a professional organization focused on its mandate to protect the people and the state, Our personnel are loyal to the Constitution and the chain of command, unquote. Hindi ko na po pinasa lahat, sir.
Okay, now, after you and your team discovered these responses, Attorney Lotok, what happened next, if any, kung meron man, tsaka kung alam mo, in relation sa investigation nyo, sa mga statements ng Vice President on that day, November 23, 2024?
We issued subpoena to the media personalities present during the online press conference of November 23, 2024. Sir, for them to appear on December 4, 2024, sir.
You issued a subpoena to the media personalities that you said andun sa media conference na iyon to appear on December 4, 2024. Now, sino ba yung mga media personalities na pinasubpoena ng NBI?
Again, Your Honor, if I may refer to my...
You may do so, Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor.